What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the BB Bus. This video is probably one of my most requested and longest awaited videos, and I think it's about due time that we talk about the Zero Breeze. 1 year ago, Zero Breeze sent me one of their units. They didn't pay me, they just did send me a free product. I did an unboxing, first impressions video, and then I did an installing video where I dedicated some storage space in the bus to have the Zero Breeze permanently installed and permanently ducted outside and then ducted to a vent here in the bus. We're going to talk about how that has worked for me in the last year, what my thoughts are with how I use the Zero Breeze and how you could use the Zero Breeze, and then I'll give a recommendation as far as what I really think the Zero Breeze is good for and how it is best used for its capabilities. Let's get right into it. When you open it, it comes out looking sleek. It works right out of the box. I have had no problems with mine. It's performed as described. When I look at the installation process for this, here's the quick and dirty of how I feel about installing this hard install style in your rig. I installed the Zero Breeze under this bench seat, the one that I'm sitting on right now, and I ran both the intake and exhaust out and out the side of the bus, and then I ducted the cold air vent all the way up to this little vent output right here. In that scenario, even on full power, the amount of ducting here coming out the back meant that it was a little bit, it was like wearing a sweater. It was like trying to breathe through wearing a scarf. And then all the ducting that came out the front, hit a T, a bunch of curves, all of that coming out the front for the cold air delivery, it was like putting a mask on. So some cold air would come out. I could feel cold air by these vents, but it wasn't like blowing. It wasn't. Is that a failure point for this unit? No. Was I using the unit as intended, as designed with the ducting that it was shipped with? Also no. I was using my own ducting that I bought online and repurposed it. So was I using this as it was designed to be done? No, I don't think so. Could I have installed it in a way that was more effective? Yes, it would have sacrificed some other things that were more important to me at the time. So that being said, with this unit installed with all the ducting that I did, it didn't work. It didn't perform as well as I would have hoped. Let's talk about the unit itself. If I put it in a different context, in a situation that it was designed to do. If it's sitting here and I run the hoses from these two input and exhaust here right out the window, it'll blow cold air, right? It is an air conditioner. It has Freon, it has coolant in there to actually cool down the air in an environment. Now, here's the catch. And this is a subjective thing. This is for me. And that's what this review is. I'm not doing science-based tests on this thing. I'm giving you my opinion. So this is all subjective, right? Here's where it fell short for me. I personally feel that this is a large unit. Now, yes, compared to all other AC, this is pretty small. It's compact. It can run on a battery. Fantastic. But I live in 110 square feet, right? This thing takes up about 4. So in order for it to be effective and to be used as it was designed, it either has to be here on my table or there on the floor in my foot space or here on my kitchen counter, and that's about it. Those are really the only 3 places where I could have this, where it could be effective and be used as it was designed. So that's where my expectation and the unit's design purpose didn't match up. And I hope that those of you that are listening to this are kind of getting an understanding of, let me shift my expectations for what I'm going to get out of this, and then I'll get what I want. That being said, how is the best way to use this? Just like what I just described. Put it on your counter, put it on your floor, aim it at the zone that you want to cool, aim it at the workspace that you're sitting in, aim it at the bed that you're sleeping in, and make sure your heat exhausts are going outside. It'll cool your space. It'll cool your zone. It'll cool you and the environment that you're in. It will not make this whole entire bus a 50-degree environment where I want to put a sweater back on, right? That's just not a realistic expectation. Would I recommend this to people that are looking to live in a van or a bus, or live out of their car or whatever? Would I recommend this unit? Yes and no. If you have expectations that this unit can meet, then sure, it's going to do what you want it to do. If you have some higher expectations about this being your only climate control option, you don't have any fans, you don't have awnings to cover windows, this is going to blast you into the ice age, no, it's not going to do that. So don't pursue it. Do I think it's worth the price? Again, that comes down to what you expect to get out of it. If you want it to cool your space, and if you duct it right and have it out on your counter, sure, then that's up to you to decide how much money do you have in your budget for cooling. Is it what I would consider $1,500 a worthy investment for the amount of use I've gotten out of it? No, certainly not. I had a very hard time being willing to put this in my space and use it. Thus, here we are. It's seen very little use. I tend to use my max air fan and get some circulation going. I tend to park in a way that aims the bus north so that my 2 tiny windows get afternoon light and my windshield is always out of the sun. I get sunrise through these windows, and that generally prevents a lot of heat from accumulating here in the bus. Thus renders my need for one of these kind of not necessary. It's been winter for the last 8 months of me living in here. Even in Southern California in December and November, like, it wasn't hot enough to need AC. And I was in Arizona, January, February, March, didn't need AC because it was just comfortable. April, May, June, I've been in Washington. It's still cold right now. I don't need AC at all. So I've really not had a lot of need for it. Now, let me actually tell you one thing that I am super impressed about. When I installed this, I put the battery under it so that I could use the battery if I needed to, but I didn't plug the battery in. I had this hardwired to my battery bank for the bus. That means that this battery has not been charged or plugged in since last August. I just took it out today and I pushed the power button on the battery and it still has 75%. And it still turned the machine on and it was running the machine on the battery that hasn't been touched for 8 or 9 months. So to me, that was pretty impressive. I know a lot of other, battery bank, battery power options out there that they'll kind of just kind of lose their charge. So I'm pretty impressed with the battery. As I'm filming the B-roll for this, I'm gonna put this on and run it and see how cold it gets, see if we can really get some cold air cranking, because again, I haven't used it for a couple months because I haven't needed to. But we'll get an idea of what things look like. That being said, please do not take this as me trying to pitch you, right? Zero Breeze did not pay me to make this video. They did not pay me to make the previous videos. They just sent me a free unit. Do your due diligence. Do your research. Some of the things in your build that are going to be really key to temperature management is going to be your insulation, your windows, how many of them there are, how you park, putting a reflective material in your windshield when you do park in a sunny environment. A lot of those things are going to go farther than having an air conditioning machine. That's going to get you a good foundation to where an AC will actually have a chance to make a difference. So no, this unit is not right for everybody. No, this unit is not cheap, but no AC is really cheap. Yes, it is portable. Yes, it can run off a battery. If that's something that you need and that you want, then this is gonna do what you want. Just know its limits and have a baseline expectation that's gonna put this in an environment where it will perform. Don't have too high of expectations on a machine like this. It's just not realistic. It runs off a battery. Like, come on. There's only so much that it can really do. Oh, my screen went out. Too bad. Yeah, let's turn it on and see if it gets some cold air blowing in here, huh? We'll put it on rocket mode. Let's see how it goes. I just set it up over on the kitchen counter and I ran it on the battery for about 10-15 minutes. It did get down to cool. It was pushing cool air out. I didn't set up the exhaust ducts, so as I was pushing cold air one way, I was pushing hot air the other way. So moving from the front to the back, it got warmer up there, clearly, because it was pushing hot air out. But it was actually cooler in the back by the bed where Echo's sleeping. So, this does perform how it's supposed to as an actual compressor-based air conditioner, not one of those evaporator coolers. Those things are total BS. This does put out cold air. It does need to be out in your space to really be effective. So many people reach out to me about this unit and I tell them what I've just told you in a shorter version, and I hope that you hearing this helps you make an informed decision about whether or not this is something you're looking for. Again, examine your use case. If you want some more information about it, if you want to run your situation by me and see if I think it would work well for you precisely, then shoot me a message. Let me know, and I'm happy to help out. If you think this is something that you'd like to buy, go for it. I hope you have now an informed expectation of what it's going to do for you and your situation. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for tuning in and catching up on my perspective, my 1 year in review of the Zero Breeze Mark II. Again, reach out if you have a question. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it, and we'll see you next time here in the BB Bus.